Well, good afternoon, and thank you so much for sharing this time with me today.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
So tell us your name and what do you do?
My name is Angela Shaw. I'm the Chief People Officer at Juiceland.
So tell us what that job, with that role, what do you do? What is?
So, yeah, so I'm the head of HR and I partner with our leadership team to make sure our employees feel taken care of. And it encompasses many different things. So it's how they're paid, it is how they come to work and feel like they belong, it's opportunity that they're given, just them being able to come and do something of value for us and what we give them in return, and making sure that as an organization, we do the right things.
Where were you born and raised?
I'm a native Austinite, so I was born and raised right here in Austin.
Oh my gosh, what was life like? Because most of the people are not from here.
Yeah, it's funny because there's a definite difference being raised as a Black woman in Austin than I think, being raised as anything else. Also, when people come to Austin, the reasons that they come to Austin are not the reasons that I'm here or because I stayed. But, I just think that as I've gotten older, my drive comes from everybody who lives in Austin having the same experience. And so that's why I try to do as much as I can to promote that. There are great things about Austin. I've had great opportunity here in Austin, and my parents are still here. They're still alive and married and together. And I want to be with them, and I stay here with them. So definitely, I'm a glass half full kind of person, and I look at the positive parts of it. But I'm also, proud of history and having roots and having been somewhere my entire life. So I'm proud to say that.
What do you like most about your job?
It's different every single day. The things that I encounter or come across, it definitely is, it keeps it exciting because it's different every day. I enjoy this organization because it's different than any other organization I've ever worked in. And just the opportunity to come in and partner with the leadership team to help them be the best organization they can be, have them be open to that, have them consider me as the subject matter expert that I am, and to be respected and honored for that. I mean, it's a beautiful feeling.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So your work at HR. So tell us about your journey and how you got into HR and why you decided to go into that field.
Yeah, so I worked in state government. Like that's how I started off my professional career. Started as an administrative employee. I didn't go to college right out of high school. I think for my family, it was this belief of you're a good Christian, you get a good job, you get a retirement, you get married, have a family, and that's your good life. And it's a good life. There's nothing wrong with that life. My life just didn't work out that way. And so I think once I realized that, okay, you need to have a career, like, what are you going to do? And I just started thinking about that. I really liked when I saw other people in HR, the interacting with people in the organization. I think the other part was the nuanced experiences that I had as a Black woman and wanting to affect that for myself and other people. And I felt that HR was a way to do that. And so the boss that I had at the time, I talked to her about if I could take on some duties. And when the time came, she gave me some duties and I started to do HR. I was an administrative assistant. And then I was like, I love this. And I went and found an HR job in an HR department in a state agency. So that was all that I was doing. And that was in 1999. And I never looked back. And here I am today.
How big is Juiceland and how many employees? Are they just in Texas or
We're just in Texas right now. So Houston, Dallas, and Austin. We have about 32 locations with plans to grow. We're going to add a few more, probably first quarter of next year. We have about between, it's a fluctuating number, but about 580, about 580 employees is where we kind of land most often.
And how do you use your platform, your power, to help affect change?
Yeah, so it took me a long time to find my voice. I feel like for a lot of my career, I was very quiet. And even though I had a lot of thoughts about things, I just didn't say them. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. And I think a lot of Black people struggle with that. But as I grew my career and was exposed to other things in my career, so outside of just having a job every day that I can do great things in the organization and affect those people, I started thinking about ways that I could affect more than just those people. Like, how does this go out into the community? And how do I help other people talk about it at their homes and with their families and go into their communities? And just started to do a lot more to create this platform. And so I think as I became a professional and joined a HR association. I served as president of an HR association here in Austin, really got a chance to network, get out in the community, really meet people and represent, like be representation. And then to have people say, oh my gosh, you inspired me to know that I had this voice that I could use and that I could say things that other people feel like they couldn't say. That was the platform. That's the power. And so it became not about me, but it was really about how do I empower other people. And so now at this point in my career, I definitely do it within my organization. So I come in as Angela Shaw, a Black woman who has power and purpose and voice. And if you bring me into your organization, that is what you're getting. But then also in the community, ways in which I can interact with people. I teach HR, I teach good HR, I teach the intersection of diversity, equity, and inclusion with HR. And so finding different opportunities to do that. A lot of people whine about their lot in life or where they are or what somebody else is not doing. I wanted to be a doer. And so that's how I use my platform. You're always going to find me doing and in multiple ways.
What advice would you give another young girl growing up in Austin who wants to follow in your footsteps?
First, believing in yourself. And if you struggle with that or you have a day where you don't, do it anyway. Like, don't let the hesitation, don't let the not knowing everything you think you should know stop you. So just do it anyway. Also, I would say to build your network. And I talk about that like as a three-pronged approach. So there's your inner circle. Those are the people who love you and who you love, and they're always there. Then there's that professional circle that you naturally build when you work in organizations and you meet people. And then there's that third level of people that maybe you don't personally know or haven't talked to, but that you admire or that inspire you. And like how you try to reach out and connect to those people also. And these are the three levels of people who can support you, open doors for you, speak your name in rooms you're not in, help you get that opportunity that you might not be able to get on your own. And those are the people that can get you where you want to go.
What advice would you give your younger self?
Oh, probably enjoy more. I think I have always been so focused on the next goal or helping the next person. I don't know that I necessarily have enjoyed as much of life as I should have. And I think that's what I would say. Enjoy more.
What purchase of $100 or less has positively impacted your life over the last few months?
That's a good question. I don't know if I don't know if I have a good answer for that actually. I don't know if I have a good answer for that. I don't know.
Lipstick. It can be nail polish, you know.
Um, I like snacks, so I mean, I do. They make me happy. And and I change snacks, so it's not always the same thing. In fact, on my way home this evening from work, I stopped and got me some cheese. That'll be my thing. I got me some cheesecake ice cream, strawberry cheesecake ice cream. And I'm looking forward to having some of that after this call. I love a good snack.
Okay, well, I might as well ask you. I don't know if you answered it already, but what is an unusual habit or absurd behavior or habit you um, absurd thing that you love?
I don't know if it's absurd, but I love naps. And I will take a nap anytime I can. And even during the time that, so I don't work from home every single day, but anytime I work from home, I mean, I'll take a nap over eating. So I just feel like some a good 30 to 45-minute window, it's like the best nap in the world.
God, oh, you're killing me. I love it. If you had a gigantic billboard and you could, get a message out to millions or billions of people, what would that message be?
Um, Grant grace whenever you can and start with yourself.
That's good. How has failure or challenge or apparent failure set you up for later success?
I think it really made me resilient. I think it also humbled me at times to be able to become, I think, the real powerful person that I am. So I would say everybody has failures, and it's your ability to acknowledge that and move past it. So that's that humbleness to be like, that didn't go the way I thought it was going to, but that's okay because I'm gonna take that hit and I'm gonna keep going.
What's an investment that you've made that's been worthwhile, that's been worthwhile in your life? And it could be anything.
So I always invest in professionally developing myself. I have done it my entire career. And even when my organization couldn't or didn't pay for it, it was always a part of my own budget. So I always had professional development goals. The thing I love is always being prepared. And so when it comes to my craft, which is HR, when it comes to my passion, which is DEI, when it comes to me just always being prepared about those things or anything that I represent, I have to be the first one to do that. And so I always invest in professional development.
What have you become better at saying no to?
That is a great question because actually I have been saying no to a lot lately. I've always been a person who did the absolute most at all times. I never said no. I said yes to everything, every engagement, everything. I'm looking to 2022 to say no more so that I can actually have more impact. And I've done it. I'm already starting to set myself up for 2022 to be able to do that. So saying no to commitments for 2022, whether it's a board position or whatever, I've started saying no to more things. But I will say the caveat to that is I always try to recommend somebody else because there is always somebody else out there who is in a different part of their life than I am, and they want these opportunities. And one of the best way to, I think, to put good into the world is to say people's names in rooms they're not in. And so it is always, who else can I recommend?
Girl, you on fire. Oh my God. Awesome. Say again. Oh. When you feel overwhelmed or unfocused, what have you done to get back to center?
I actually go spend time with my parents. So they are the loves of my life. And they're the number one reason why I do everything that I do. There are other reasons too, but they are definitely the number one reason. There's this feeling of being grounded when I'm with them. They also remind me of where I came from. They keep me humble. Like, this head can't get too big, because parents have a way of just reminding you. But I go spend time with my parents. That always helps me remember why I'm doing something, anything, everything. And just it's always home. It is always home being with them.
Who's your favorite person?
I have a new niece. She's 4 months old. She is my favorite person. She's my great niece, actually. So her mom, my niece, even knows that she's my favorite person. So that's my favorite person. I mean, and she at 4 months old, obviously that she has the rest of her life, but she is the most wonderful, beautiful, best smelling, do everything right person, my favorite person that I love the most. And now is a new reason for why I work so hard to try to change this world.
What's her name?
Her name is Leanne.
My son came upstairs and the dog started barking. No, give it. Stop. No, stop. Sorry.
That's okay.
What are you most proud of? Look at that hair.
I feel like I'm most proud of progressing my career while at the same time not giving up who I am. I feel like it took me a little longer just because of challenges and systemic racism and structures that are in place. But despite any of that, the fact that I got to this chief position, not only for me, but also representation for anybody else who wants to do it. And I say a lot and I mean it. There is nothing special about me. And the fact that I can work hard enough to get here means that anybody can work hard enough to get here. So I'm very proud of that, of getting to the C-suite level. We also know that the percentages for that are very, very low when it comes to Black women. And so to be able to say that I did this, nobody can take that away from me ever. And I can use it to help other young Black girls to know that they can do it too.
What's your superpower?
Connecting people, I think. So it would either be connecting people or providing anybody a safe space.
What do you see as your place or your purpose in life?
It's to bring other people along. And so whatever, it looks different for different people. So sometimes it's a listening ear, sometimes it's an open heart. Sometimes it is real talk. It's different things for different people, but I think bringing people along, sometimes, a lot of times it's a pep talk. So it is, you can do this, and these are the reasons why.
Do you have kids?
I don't have any kids.
So how do you, you said you had nieces, so maybe you have nephews too, but
I do.
how do you think your family will remember you?
Probably as bossy. So there are 5 kids in my family, and there's a boy at each end, and I'm actually the youngest girl, but I am definitely the child who makes sure things get done. And for whatever reason, everybody kind of falls in line with that. So I'm pretty sure it'd be because they're like, she's bossy, and we don't want to make her mad. But I think they would also say that I'm also always going to make sure that everybody is okay. I'm going to make sure that things get done and that, our family is good.
Tell us your experience at being a Black woman in HR.
Oh my goodness. It is difficult to have personal battles and also take those battles on for everybody else. And so for me, being in HR, that's what it has felt like almost the entirety of my career, is that I had to fight things personally and fight for my raise or my promotion or my next step, work so hard to create opportunities for myself, always being the most prepared, the most certified, the most everything to even create that opportunity, but also going into organizations to say, you don't treat people any kind of way, and taking a stand for that. That's what it's been. But again, I count it as a success because I'm still here today. I'm in this chief people officer position. For every one person who may say something negative about me, it's 10 who'd be like, she did this, she did that, she said this, and that's what I try to build. I think that any person you have an interaction with, even if it's a hard conversation or difficult, they should leave that interaction feeling inspired, positive, touched. And that's how I try to leave every interaction, the other person feeling.
I think I already know the answer to this, but what's the best place you've ever lived or traveled or
I mean,
traveled?
this would be the only place I've ever lived. But, interestingly enough, I don't swim, but I love water. And so a beautiful beach with, green or blue water, that's a good place to be.
Do you have a favorite book or a book you recommend?
Always ask that. And my answer is always no. I feel like the best information, it's not that I haven't read books, but I feel like the best learning comes from doing. I think the best, how we become who we are comes from our experiences, what we've done and what we learn from that, not necessarily from other people.
How do you want to be remembered after you're gone?
How do I want to be remembered? A person who always was striving to do the right thing. So regardless of how hard that was or what challenges came about, that I was always a person who was striving to do the right thing. That's how I want to be remembered.
What do you enjoy doing in your leisure time?
Besides napping, I'm also a lounger, if that's a word. So I love a cute pajama set and, some Lifetime, maybe scroll on my phone, maybe do a crossword puzzle, but just some lounging, like not thinking about anything, making a decision about anything, solving any problems. Just some nice letting my mind rest time.
How does it, this is the last question. How does it feel to, or what does it mean to be chosen as one of our top 10 diversity champions?
It is affirming. So it is definitely affirming. I don't do anything for notoriety or accolades or anything like that, but everybody enjoys being appreciated and honored. So it is definitely affirming. And I enjoy that feeling. The other thing, it was a complete surprise. And it was a very pleasant surprise to learn this. And also just representing for every person who's underrepresented, who worked hard for something, and you receive something you didn't expect. That's what it is. So to know and love this community of Austin the way that I do, and to want Austin to be a better place, and doing all this work for Austin to be a better place. And to get this is like the cherry on top.
Well, that is our last question. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
I'm just excited about the conversations happening in Austin. And I think for the first time in my life, I feel like we can actually have some change. And it's my hope that Austin can become an example for other cities in what we can do.
That's awesome. Well, that is amazing. I mean, you know, for somebody who doesn't really like doing interviews this late, you've been rocking, girl. This is awesome. This is
Well, it's just that, you know, this is my lounging time, like getting ready for bed. Like I'm not asleep, but I'm definitely like in bed by now.
like,
Because I get up early. But I will say, you know, just as an HR person and a public speaker, I mean, I've done a lot of public speaking and stuff. So, you know, it's cool. And the lipstick helps. I think it jazzed me up. Because I can see myself with this lipstick. I'm like, girl, you look good.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh my God. Well, we look forward to seeing you on the 20th of next month.
I'm going to be there, and I'm bringing a crew with me too.
I know, right? So I don't know if Alvin has called you, but you know, I saw the CEO of Juiceland in the news the other day, and you know, one of the things that we try to do with this award and with most of the awards that we do is share with the company that they made a great decision, right? Because you know, we look at your background, right, and where you started and where you came from and where you are, and it really is inspirational. And so we not only want to, to celebrate you, but also the company. So I don't know if Alvin called, but
he sent me an email.
Okay,
and just between you and me,
yeah,
I've been talking to them, but they're not acting right.
So let me tell you, and that's why we like to call them, right?
Okay.
Because we like to call and talk to them on your behalf, because we like to let them know that it's important for them to be in the room, because it shows that they recognize the value of having someone who looks like you and who has your background at their company, right? And because it really is, I mean, you're a trailblazer. You know, when I saw your name pop up and just kind of doing the research on you, I mean, this is a big deal. I mean, your job is a big deal, and I know you've only been there for a short time, but that's why we like to talk to them, because this is a big freaking deal, not just for you, but for them.
Yeah.
Because, it validates you, and it also shows them that they're on the right path, and we want them to continue, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's somebody that we can talk to, but honestly, I've never had them say no, honestly, because it's really not about the money at the end of the day. It's about them being present, right? It's about them being present and recognizing you and for the work that that you will be doing, because you've been doing it your entire career, and obviously they see what we see. So so we want to celebrate that. So
So maybe I can respond to Alvin with the contact information.
Just because let me tell you, if you can just let us know. Like I said, I swear to God, I've never had them say no, because they might say to you, but it's late. But for us, because it's like, do you really not want to support?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big deal to be in the room with the companies that are there, and I mean, let me tell you, we have companies that are not even on the list, and they're like, okay, we want to be in the room, just because of the diversity of the people that are there. And and a lot of folks have never been in a room with doctors, lawyers, technologists, and all of these people who don't look like them, right?
Yeah. And the truth is, and we know this, white people don't see Black excellence in the same way that we do. So they need to be in the room because they need to see this excellence.
Because I mean, and that's why I do, I try to do so many people, because when they see ones or twos, it's kind of like Jordan and Oprah, right? They're like, oh, right. they're the exception. It's not
Right.
the rule, right? That's just not how they are. And then you see all these people, you're like, hell, where,
Yeah.
like, is this the Twilight Zone? Where
I
did
feel like even for Black people, is though, where all y'all been? Where are
Yeah,
y'all?
no, I hear this a lot. I hear this a lot. And even with the books, I hear people say, oh my God, like, I didn't even, I've known this person for years and years, and I never knew what they did. I knew that they did, they were this, but, and so it really, not just for like you said, for them, but it's for us too, so people kind of, recognize what folks are about, right?
Yeah.
It also humanizes you, and sometimes, it tells your story, and it shows that, you didn't just get this, it's not by accident where you are, right? And that's the biggest piece, is that, they see this and it's like, okay, but this is where I came from, right?
And you're so right about that. People don't recognize the journey.
Because oh yeah, she just did this, like, like overnight success. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, I've been doing this since 19 something, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no such thing as overnight success, not for Black people anyway. So, well, thank you so much. And yeah, please message him tonight so we can get a call, talk with him tomorrow. Because, like I said, we just, it's a thing. It is a thing. And, and even if there are companies that that you worked for, sometimes they like to take credit for the success that you have, right? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we knew she was gonna be,
Yeah.
you know how it's
I
that
do.
one person that's like, oh yeah, I did this for her. This is why she did. So it's like you be looking like, what? I remember, So yeah, it's interesting when you hear all these people taking credit for your success, right? But thank you
Okay, I
so much
will.
again for your
Thank you.
for your patience. And I mean, this is lovely, and it's been absolutely amazing getting to know you, and I can't wait to meet you in person.
Thank you. Me too. I've seen your work. I've seen you all over LinkedIn, all the things you're doing. So thank you for this honor. I can't wait to meet you too. And it's going to be a great event.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.